Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Friday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's entertainment spotlight, being part of my conversation with the late Bakari Bo Howard, talking about how he hopes his life is able to be an example for others. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In national news, U.S. sets the stage for COVID booster shots for millions. The U.S. vaccination drive against COVID-19 stood on the verge of a major new phase as government advisors on Thursday recommended booster doses of Pfizer's vaccine for millions of older or otherwise vulnerable Americans, despite doubts the extra shots will do much to slow the pandemic. Advisors to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said boosters should be offered to people 65 and older, nursing home residents, and those ages 50 to 64 who have risky underlying health problems. The extra dose will be given once they are at least 6 months past their last Pfizer shot. Deciding who else might get one was far tougher. While there is little evidence that younger people are in danger of waning immunity, the panel offered the option of a booster for those 18 to 49 who have chronic health problems and want one. But the advisors refused to go further and open boosters to otherwise healthy frontline health workers who aren't at risk of severe illness but want to avoid even a mild infection. Still, getting the unvaccinated their first shots remains the top priority, and the panel wrestled with whether the booster debate was distracting from that goal. All three of the COVID-19 vaccines used in the U.S. still are highly protective against severe illness, hospitalization, and death, even amid the spread of the extra contagious Delta variant. But only about 182 million Americans are fully vaccinated, just 55% of the population. Thursday's decision represented a dramatic scaling back of the Biden administration's plan, announced last week, to dispense boosters to nearly everyone to shore up their protection. Late Wednesday, the Food and Drug Administration, like the CDC, signed off on Pfizer boosters for a much more targeted slice of the American population than the White House envisioned. It falls to the CDC to set final U.S. policy on who qualifies for the extra shot. The CDC usually follows its advisors' recommendations. In more national news, U.S. Special Envoy to Haiti resigns over migrant expulsions. The Biden administration's Special Envoy to Haiti resigned in protest of inhumane large-scale expulsions of Haitian migrants to their homelands as it is wrecked by civil strife and national disaster, U.S. officials said Thursday. Daniel Foote was appointed to the position only in July, following the assassination of Haiti's president. Even before the migrant expulsions from the small Texas border town of Del Rio, the career diplomat was known to be deeply frustrated over what he considered a lack of urgency in Washington and a glacial pace on efforts to improve conditions in Haiti. Foote wrote Secretary of State Antony Blinken that he was stepping down immediately with deep disappointment and apologies to those seeking crucial changes. I will not be associated with the United States' inhumane, counterproductive decision to deport thousands of Haitian refugees and illegal immigrants to Haiti, a country where American officials are confined to secure compounds because of the danger posed by armed gangs to daily life, he wrote. In more national news, Democrats seek tax framework to pay for a huge $3.5 trillion package. The White House and congressional Democrats have agreed to a framework of options to pay for their huge emerging social and environmental bill, top Democrats said on Thursday. Now they face the daunting task of narrowing the menu to tax possibilities they can pass to fund President Joe Biden's $3.5 trillion plan. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi of California announced the progress as Biden administration officials and Democratic congressional leaders negotiated behind the scenes. The package aims to rewrite tax and spending priorities to expand programs for Americans of all ages while upping efforts to tackle income inequality and fight climate change. In more national news, Louisiana State Trooper charged in pummeling a black man. A former Louisiana State Police trooper has been charged with a civil rights violation for pummeling a black motorist 18 times with a flashlight, the first criminal case to emerge from federal investigations into troopers' beatings of at least 3 black men. A grand jury on Thursday indicted Jacob Brown for the 2019 beating following a traffic stop that left Aaron Larry Bowman with a broken jaw, broken ribs, and a gash to his head. And finally, in business news, Tyra Banks and Kevin Hart set for Black Entrepreneurship event. Tyra Banks, Kevin Hart, and Shaquille O'Neal are among the celebrities taking part in a live stream special intended to boost Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurship. Damon John of TV Shark Tank will host Black Entrepreneurs Day from New York City's Apollo Theater on October 14th. It will be available through John's Facebook page and across Facebook channels. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's our time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Consider greater possibilities. Explore ways to expand your life experiences. Take some time every day to consciously explore and embrace new ideas as you put forth positive energy to attract opportunities. Be sure to act on these opportunities, even if it is something minor, as this sends a message to the universe and to God that you are ready to experience even more success and fulfillment. God then reciprocates by sending more opportunities to you. This creates an ongoing cycle of creative successes to transform your life. When you take time to explore the possibilities for growth in your life, it begins a powerful new phase of expansion and success. Today, allow your mind to roam freely as you invite new ideas into your consciousness. And as always, enjoy the day.
Bakari Bo Howard is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. In August 2016, Bakari Bo Howard joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, for his very first radio experience to talk about what it was like for him to leave the life of the streets and to be able to be a role model for others. Unfortunately, he lost his life the following year to gun violence, but here's a bit of our conversation.
Is it your hope then that you would help, again, especially young people, but also the parents out there to realize how important it is for them to be the example of what they want young people to model after, and not just tell them, but actually show them by example?
Right, because I didn't have that. My stepfather, he never stepped in to try to be the man that was dealing with the gang banging teenager. Like he didn't step in. He would let my mom really control all that, and all she would do was fuss all the time and argue. Like you can't deal with the teenage boy that has his mind set by raising your voice at him.
At this point in your life where you are today, do you see yourself as a living example of what is possible and how you can make better choices if you choose to?
Right, and that's my goal now, is to at least try to steer the youth in another direction, because I have lost actually all my real friends that I had real love for. Like they're locked up or dead, and it came from street life.
Right.
There's only two ends to it. You're gonna end up dead, or you're gonna kill somebody, because you're gonna run into somebody just like you, and it don't even have to actually be gang banging or nothing. If you're in the street, just living the street life, there's gonna be somebody who stick their chest out, and now you gotta stick your chest out farther than theirs, and then eventually it's gonna come down to either you or me.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll have you guys on Monday with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.